Jeff stared at the blankness once more.
You know, I don't know what the fuck you are, but you kind of remind me of myself.
How? How did you even come to that conclusion?
Because he's drunk and he sees a fish when he looks at Slenderman.
Because apparently
You've got a nice wet face, but all you're missing is a smile.
Shut up. Jeff began
No,
laughing.
I'm not done with this. I'm Jeff the Killer, a fucking teenage boy who's like bizarrely superhuman in physical strength and abilities in fights, and I've got a pale face and black rings around my eyes, black emo hair, and a stupid white jumper. And I like stabbing people because LOL. You're a giant creature of myth who's about like 8 foot tall. It's very skinny and has tentacles protruding from your back.
Can teleport and start fires randomly.
How are they similar? Like,
Because white?
in any way?
Because he's got a white face.
So does Gary Oldman. I mean, does that make him like Jeff the Killer?
No,
And Marky Mark. All three of them are blinded to someone at some point.
Jeff began laughing uncontrollably at his own notion. Yet he was stopped. Jeff's ears were assaulted by static and he fell to the ground. He was shrouding in complete darkness as he clenched his ears for mercy. The figure Jeff earlier questioned was now causing Jeff extreme pain, while the place in where his eyes should have been stared directly into Jeff's. At that point, Jeff snapped. He broke free of pain. How? Because Jeff the Killer, and suddenly he is actually sober, by the way. Somehow. He drew his knife once more and began slashing. Each one of his moves were futile as the man moved around in no time at all, almost as if he was teleporting from place to place to avoid his attacks.
And then he said it. Slenderman is love. Slenderman is life.
He tried to slash, but his knife went right through him, and Slenderman said, "Ha ha ha! You think this is the real Slenderman?"
It is. I fucking love that from bloody Total Recall.
Yeah. See you at the party, Jeff.
See you at the party, Richter! The tall man began to fight back. Jeff had now begun to notice the tendrils hanging from the back of his attacker.
Didn't see him before.
Didn't see him before, no.
You know.
How drunk are you? You don't know it's fucking Octopus Man.
Squidworth.
Yeah, it was actually
We've cracked the case. They're all related.
They grabbed at Jeff, and his response was to swing his knife at each of them that came near him. Jeff managed to slice what seemed to be an arm, and in almost an instant, the limb grew back in its place. What had just happened astonished Jeff.
Also, he's managed to cut through something's arm with a pocket knife, probably, that he's been using to stab trees.
Yeah. He felt almost as if the man was a tall tree and his tendrils simply branches. Jeff fled from the forest knowing that there was no way he could be able to fight whatever this adversary truly was in what seemed to be his home territory. Jeff rushed from his attacker and found himself in the same place that where it ended. To the right of him lay the cemetery, open space. As he ran past the trees, he noticed that lie away from the others.
Moving on.
The same tree before, he ran into it out of instinct. And
Wait, did he just run into a tree?
Save
me, tree!
And read the note he had seen from a distance before. Right, get this. Do not enter these woods at night. A tall man has been spotted in the area recently. Some call him the Slenderman. Beware and enter at your own risk.
So
Was that like the Parish Council doing that?
Yeah.
Be afraid, he's tall, is really what we're... A tall man has been spotted. I'll jump back in if you like.
Whatever the being that had stalked him in the woods before was referred to as Slenderman. The name fit perfectly with the description of a tall white figure. Jeff hurried towards the graveyard, where he waited for his foe, wielding his sharp, bloody knife. Jeff's wish had been granted as the Slenderman approached from the woods. It seemed as if he was hesitant to leave his home court. Despite his hesitance, it left the area anyway, and quickly rushed towards Jeff. The psychopath's instincts started to come back, and he jumped towards the tall man. My Slenderman senses are tingling! Jeff was quickly grabbed by his enemy and thrown against a nearby tree. Jeff proceeded to swing again at the tendrils that grabbed him. Can he not say tentacles? He was able to slash at one of the Slenderman's main arms. Blood oozed from the deep cut. I didn't know Slenderman had blood. The white figure showed no emotion, because he has no facial expressions, and began snatching at Jeff once again. He continued to smash Jeff against trees and slabs of rock. Jeff's knife slipped from his grip and fell to the ground with Jeff. Colliding with the ground, Jeff's knife slid into his own stomach in the matter of seconds, Blood poured from the wound, and soon the ground was covered in red liquid. He stood up with a jolt.
Is that the best you got, Slendy? I've taken worse beatings from my father's belt than your weak twig man arms.
You know those people who are like...
Slendy, what kind of fucking Adam West dialogue is that?
Also,
you're not Spider-Man, you're not like having some banter where you're... Also, like, you know those people who are like, oh no, Jeff doesn't have any superpowers, so he's just been stabbed in the gut if you disconsider all the other damage he's taken.
Threw into rocks, and
So,
just because
I don't know if you know this, people of the internet, but getting stabbed in the gut really fucking hurts and makes it hard to move.
Just because he's a psychopath doesn't mean he's in fucking
Oh wait, I
vulnerable.
forgot, but he like gave up pain or something, remember?
Oh yeah, because he got set on fire. Yeah, that totally gives you...
No, earlier in the thing, it's like, oh, and then it snapped and had no understanding of pain.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's how that works.
Try understanding the meaning of pain when you got fucking your head cut off. You're gonna forget about it then. You just walk off like something from the fucking thing. This is the problem I have. I've taken worse beatings from my father's belt. When was that established in the original Jeff the Killer? That he was ever beaten?
It was never even suggested, though.
No.
It was never even
They didn't even mention his father's belt at all. For all we know, he had suspenders.
Yeah, for some reason he could have been Mario.
Oh, Jeff, my boy, I'll take my suspenders off and beat you with them. It'll be really ineffective and won't hurt you much.
Okay, I want to point out I've taken worse beatings from my father's belt than you are weak twig arms. 9 out of 10. The Slenderman remained silent but continued fighting. Presumably he'd remain silent, he has no mouth. The man reached for a piece of granite from a tombstone, but before he could take hold of it, Jeff jerked the knife from his gut and flung it directly at Slenderman. Jeff's accuracy was precise, which is a miracle considering he was hammered, and it sliced off one of the man's
He's
limbs.
drunk, and he just pulled a knife out of his own gut and then thrown it perfectly.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
probably losing quite a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Also, he's standing upright. Yeah, definitely no superpowers.
Jeff's accuracy was precise, and it sliced off one of the man's limbs. Slenderman's left arm was completely gone. Isn't it just like a tiny little switchblade, though? As it fell to the ground with a thud, it was quickly met by thick blood that barraged from his shoulder. Not used in an appropriate context. It was completely drenched in blood. Slenderman briskly disappeared into the darkness. Briskly? Is she like whistling a merry tune as well? Time for Irish Slenderman again.
So it's like, Slenderman, I'm needed in the basement.
Pretending there's stairs behind the tree trunk.
Slenderman briskly disappeared into the darkness, but illuminated behind Jeff. In his right hand he held a broken piece of granite. He held a broken piece of granite that he proceeded to slam into the side of Jeff's head. Jeff fell to the ground once again, almost knocked unconscious. He was not left there for long before he was seized by an assailant and thrown against a grave. The stone exploded on impact with Jeff.
Because, you know, stone does that.
Standing up once again.
Oh, that bit of C4 I had to my back exploded.
Jeff's eyes focused on the name of the grave. As his eyes crossed the name on the granite, his black eyes widened. The words written across the grey slab were recognised by Jeff in an instant. It read out his brother's name, Lou. Something was coursing through Jeff. Rage filled him within an instant, and he lashed out at Slenderman at extreme speeds. Jeff's knife was slashing through his suit as well as his pale skin. Slenderman began teleporting towards the forest.
So, like, how dare you defy my brother's grave? I may have been the one to murder him in cold blood, but nobody defies his memory.
That makes no sense whatsoever. I got angry for someone defiling.
I think because he's drunk and he's lost a lot of blood, he's delirious. Listen to this next bit. Come on, bitch! I'm not finished with you yet. Jeff hollered. Jeff hollered. He was in the south. He was at a hoedown.
He took 2 steps and then died. It fell over.
I want to help you get to sleep, Randy. You look awfully tired.
Who the fuck is Randy?
I don't know. His name's Randy Slenderman.
I think Randy's the bloke who set him on fire, isn't he?
I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah, Randy. That remember?
Whatever was flowing through Jeff caused his insanity to go into an overdrive state.
Oh fuck!
Because that's a thing.
Yeah, because that really.
Insanity overdrive.
Overdrive!
This isn't a fucking anime.
He had become delusional. He ran at Slenderman and back into the
If he
forest.
became delusional, he'd be running at a tree.
He rushed through the woods, not observing his environment whatsoever. Jeff was deep into the forest, still pursuing the man. Slenderman continued warping around the forest. Jeff's lack of caution caused him to trip on a branch lying in his way. As he crashed into the ground, shards of glass pierced him, and the contents of his pockets were thrown out. His items scattered the ground.
No, me iPod.
No, my cigarettes! I want to look cool!
As Jeff looked up with his mangled, bloody face, the scent of alcohol graced him. Jeff knew that he had been here before. He had fallen onto this tree and dropped his bottle. Jeff desperately searched the ground for his knife. He felt his hand grabbing hold of something warm. What he had dropped was his blade. Jeff grabbed his
Litter.
Jeff grabbed his... I mean, it is lighter, but I mean,
It's not
spelled-
lighter. That is spelled so wrong.
He grabbed some litter.
He tried to grab a litre of Scrumpy Jacks.
He quickly scrapped at it,
Oh, fuck's sake.
hoping that the small flames would provide a source of light. His bloody hands covered the plastic in the red liquid. After many desperate attempts, a small orange flame was produced.
Yes, we do know what
Jeff-
the fucking colour of a flame is.
Jeff threw the litter out in front of him as he attempted to find his knife that lay close to him.
Then why the fuck did he even throw?
Before he could make another movement, Slenderman appeared before him. The smooth white face that he had seen before was now covered in slashes and dark blood. Even though he looked hurt, Slenderman remained strong. Jeff's grip on the litter became loose.
Didn't we just throw it in front of him?
His blood had caused friction between it and his hand. The small blaze dropped towards the ground. Intense flames scorched as the litter hit the ground.
But he's already done that. He's already thrown it on the ground.
Both adversaries fled away from the flame. Before either of them could put a distance between
Right,
themselves
wasn't
and
it
the flame,
raining earlier?
Yeah, suddenly it stopped raining.
it was ignited by the alcohol that soiled the ground. Oh, this again.
Oh, yeah.
This
Here we
seems
go.
familiar.
He's going to dye his hair a different colour.
In a matter of seconds, the forest was burning from the ground up.
Fuck
Do you understand
Yeah.
how fire works?
Like, why did none of these Jeff the Killer stories understand, like...
What fire is.
Yeah, it's just...
And suddenly the biggest forest fire ever.
In history, the entire half the planet burnt down
What-
because he had dropped some whiskey that had fallen on the ground. The wet ground. In the wet forest.
Yeah. What caused the fire? Ridiculously hot temperatures? No. Whiskey and a branch.
It
And
turns
a
out,
tiny lighter.
because
everyone
Jeff
knows-
was so hardcore, it was super whiskey made from gasoline.
Everyone knows that trees burn up really well when they're soaking wet when it's just been raining.
You see, the water, it cools down everything around it, so the heat has more places to move.
What are you, a Jeff the Killer fanboy now? Trying to give him excuses.
Creepy.
No, it's scientifically impossibly backed.
Jeff the Killer science. Slenderman thought nothing of this and continued to swing at Jeff. Jeff fought back, ignoring the orange and red covering his environment. The tall monster grabbed at Jeff. Jeff grabbed his knife and jumped. To no avail.
Like, his fucking knife keeps disappearing and reappearing in his hand.
Got a shit
Is that enough? Like,
switchblade.
Alright, new paragraph. To no avail, Jeff was pulled by the Slenderman and was now stuck in his grip. So how was that to no avail? That was quite a successful attack. Slenderman began to shake Jeff around. As he did this, Jeff bit at him and a loud crack of bone could be heard. The
so he can bite from fucking bone now.
The pain surged through Slenderman. Out of shock, he threw Jeff against a large tree.
Also, what the chances like his arms are supposed to be like all tendry? Why would he even have bone?
And wouldn't you think that if someone's already encountered Slenderman, if they were up in your grill and you could do nothing, wouldn't you try and bite him?
And crack it, but your
So,
jaws aren't
if
good enough to
you
crack the
don't
bone.
wanna die, you know, so what if someone else bit him? Would it affect him?
No, because they're not Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, because they're not fucking Jeff the fucking shit man.
The pain surged through Slenderman. Out of the shock, he threw Jeff against a large tree. As Jeff flew towards the tree, a sharp pain hit Jeff straight in the back. It continued until he saw a branch sliding through his torso,
Oh, he should be dead. For
and he
fuck's
hit
sake.
the base of the tree. Jeff had been viciously impaled by a long tree branch. Blood gushed from his mouth and opened wounds as he screamed out in pain. Slenderman then fled. He walked to an area of safety where the forest had not been burned as of yet. He watched Jeff as he attempted to escape. At this point, the Slenderman knew that escape was impossible. The white monster could hear Jeff screaming. Even from a large distance away, he continued to warp away from his territory and left Jeff to burn in flames.
Okay, I've got to say, I'm so glad it wasn't like he got thrown towards the tree and then he flipped off.
Yeah. The blaze became brighter and surrounded Jeff. Struggling to avoid the intense heat, he violently slid his body from the tree. Fire engulfed Jeff, everything swirled around him. He became wrapped up in the flame.
There was no hope for Jeff. He had lost his mind long ago, yet this was something different. He had reached his limit, and his state of mind burned just as the forest did.
Is he dead? Hooray!
I mean, it doesn't say, but presumably yes.
Dot.
What happens is he's going to wake up in the hospital with another tube up his bum.
Yeah, in the Department of Massive Mind Loss.
You see, he's a patient. He's not very well in the head, so we're going to leave him with all these sharp instruments for 5 to 9 weeks.
A young girl by the name of Sarah Burgess has been reported missing. She was last seen at Drop in Bar and Grill around 9 o'clock p.m. If you have any ideas on the whereabouts of Sarah Burgess, please call the station at 404-835-HELP.
I'm surprised it didn't say Jeff.
It didn't just say 505. In other news, a major forest fire has broken out in the local area. The cause...
Because whiskey is so fucking dangerous.
Because even though it was raining, whiskey.
The cause has not been discovered. Investigators are studying the remains of the forest. The fire has been extinguished.
Fire did it!
This will hurt much of the animal life found in the once heavily wooded forest. We'll bring more in this story as it comes. Mark turned off the television and slumped into his couch cushion. Hi, honey, do you want to take a look at the forest? Well, what's left of it? They've pulled out the fire.
They've pulled out the fire!
We got
the fire. Clap it in irons. You're going to jail.
You're on the arrest, bitch!
They've put out the fire that burned the damn thing to the ground. There's
That
also
damn
a girl
forest.
missing. Maybe we'll see her while we're out there.
No one in the world would say that. Oh no, there's a girl missing near us.
Doesn't that
There's
get
a
like?
bird?
Isn't that like really bad? Like, the girl's gone missing, and we put out the fire. Maybe we'll see her. Maybe we'll see her charred corpse. Isn't that great, Mark?
Yeah, plot device.
Can we do it some other time? I'm kind of busy right now, Mark, and if the police can't find that girl, there's no way in hell we can, Julia protested.
Good old Julia.
Mark argued, come on, it won't hurt nothing. It won't be more than a 5-minute walk. Alright, I guess, but 5 minutes only. The man put on his shoes and left his house with his wife. As they strolled towards the burnt-out forest, they could see something moving in the opposite direction.
Fuck off.
It looked somewhat human.
No.
Kind of
As
like
they
if I was
moved
going to put a
closer
name to
towards
it, it would be Jeff.
They noticed what looked like severe burns to its face. The creature's eyelids were completely gone, and it carried an unnatural smile spread across his face. It was completely white with hints of grey where it looked like he had been burned. Its long black... Can we go with he or it, please? Stop jumping between the two. It's annoying. It's long black... Also, that's the wrong it's. You don't use an apostrophe for that. That means it is.
Spelled grey wrong.
It's American.
No.
It's long black
Still
hair
spelled
was-
wrong.
Spelled wrong in my country.
was singed. They came closer towards it, and Mark shouted, "Hey boys, you need some help?" Mark bellowed.
Okay, wait. We've just come across someone who's severely burnt, with missing eyelids, and has an unnatural grin. Are you okay? You okay, lady?
You okay, lady? Mark, stop! We don't even know who he is. He could be a fucking killer for all we know.
Fuck!
But
God, this makes me so fucking angry!
we've reached that point.
Toby,
But
Give us a fucking killer! Maybe it could be Jeff the killer! It's clever because it's fucking Jeff the killer! Shut up! Just stop!
it's almost over.
I am so... Oh, I'm so...
Toby just lost his goddamn monkey mind.
Oh,
Toby is
fuck
suffering
this
from massive
story.
mind loss.
Maybe it's the work of the
Please.
Illuminati.
The man moved swiftly towards the couple. As he approached them, he drew a thick blade covered in red liquid.
no, he didn't.
From where?
I don't, but I can tell you need some help to sleep. Jeff slashed the knife across the man's neck, and he fell to the ground. His wife began to scream loudly. She was unable to continue.
What?
As she was next, she was stabbed directly in the heart with the knife.
Because there's no bone in the way.
You don't need to worry about me. Just go to Kip.
Fuck.
That's the whole thing.
Oh.
9 out of 10. Guys, his name is Jeff, not Jack. I would know him like his biggest fangirl.
His waifu.
I enjoyed it as well. Poor Jeff, I hope he's fine. That would be harsh for a 13-year-old.
Minus.
We don't even need to say anything. These comments speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Sorry, hang on. Someone's put Jeff is 21. No one cares how old he is. This story is ridiculous. No one gives a fuck.
Or-
Anyone who actually has a mind won't.
Love Slender says awesome spelt wrong story, but Slendy would have won, I think. Jeff is still human, so that's why Slenderman would have won. Tower of Insight, this one.
Yeah, totally.
Slender says, if you go on YouTube, Mr. Creepypasta can tall this better.
Saw the title. That's enough of this pasta for me. 5 spooky, 12 me.
It was a great pasta, but it had some errors and wasn't what I would have expected it would have been. I thought it would be like one of the other Jeff versus Blank I've read. Jeff kills someone, Blank is just around the corner, makes attack, blah blah, end. It didn't do that at all. All I have to say is great job, and I can't wait to send this to my friend. Your friend must have been bitterly disappointed with you.
Oh.
It wasn't a friend for very long.
I'd like to point out as well, that positive comment was written on April the 1st, so here's hoping. Unknown says, not bad pasta.
Yes, it is.
I like it.
No.
People should make more of these.
No,
I
shouldn't.
honestly feel like there's more than enough.
Yeah.
Although people would say Jeff was already killed by Jane, ... it's still good. They're all canon.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
They all take place in the same universe.
It's like a TV series, Jeff the Killer TV series. I bet some people would be like, "Oh yeah, that'd be the best idea ever, Jeff the Killer." No,
So we're gonna.
no, it wouldn't.
Right, Matt, would you like to tell us what you thought of this story?
Okay, how does bullshit? Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! What was that shit?
Throwing all the bullshit.
I
out
don't
the
know.
fucking-
It was very fucking bad. I don't know what to tell you. That was while I don't consider that one of the worst ones we've ever done, the level of hype attached to it, considering how piss poor it was, is fucking staggering to me. I know I ought to stop being surprised by now, but I just can't. I every time I begin to have my faith in humanity restored, some imbecile, some fucking how many? I'm just going to scroll up. 1,824 people voted on this and gave it 9 out of 10. You're all idiots. You are all fucking idiots with no taste.
There are no words of comfort to come from this story.
None at all.
It is just bollocks, and that is most probably the angriest I have ever gotten. Ever. I mean, even in real life, things don't get me that angry. This, with all the hype and the hype train. No.
It's
All aboard the fuck off and read a good story. Train. please.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, then why not subscribe? If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, then feel free to do so at Movie Sherwood. You can also follow Toby on Twitter at Silent Rocker. Unfortunately, Matt's not on Twitter because Twitter does not have bacon. If you enjoyed this video or would like to leave any sort of feedback, feel free to use the comment section below. We do read every comment, even the shit ones. Thank you once again, and have a good day, I suppose.